Okay, so I've decided to keep the front cover, the inside cover, really simple, and the back as well, actually, because I'm running out of paper. I'm actually using the cover of the paperback, and also because the pages, there's so much going on that I thought it would be better to have them a little bit simpler and flatter. So I'm just going to adhere this plaid piece down. It measures 8 by 10 and a quarter, I believe. Okay. Alright, and now I'm just going to do some photo mats. I'm going to do one here, and then 2 here. I think I might maybe do some corners first, though. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do the corners first. So I've just cut a couple squares that were 1.5 by 1.5, and I'm just going to put them on the corners just for a pop of orange. Because our front page, our first page is all orange and green, as well as our very last page, so we want the covers, the inside covers, to match. Okay, so there's some corners for a little pop of color. Now we can put our photo mats on. Do one right there. And 2 smaller ones. There we go. And then put this one down here. That looks pretty good. And now I'm just going to use some simple black photo corners. These ones are from Forever in Time. Okay, so I'm going to use these photo corners on each corner of some of the ephemera cards. Okay, like that, and then stick them down so that you can use the ephemera card as a template, and these will just come out, so you can just use it as a template for a photo. And we'll do the same with the other ones. Okay, and then one is going to go right there. Okay, and place that down. Excellent. So now you can remove these cards to use as templates for your photos. And it's just a really simple but effective little cover. I might put some gears or something in the corners just for a little extra pop of something. And I'm probably going to do the back cover relatively in the same fashion, I think. And then that leaves lots of room. And see how I mean about this now that this is dry? Once your pages are on here, this will, the weight of the pages will have it lie flat. But then as you're turning the pages, this can move like that. So that way it gives the pages the ability to lay flatter. Alright, so we're going to do the back cover. And then we will put the pages in. And then we'll work on the front of the cover. Okay, so the back cover, I went really simple, mostly because this is the only large piece of paper I had left, and it's the cover of the paper pack. And then I just did some borders here. Yeah, I don't have any large pieces left, I just had scraps, so I decided to go with that. And now it is time to put the pages in the album. So, we're going to put some glue on either side of the flange here. And then put the page in. Oh, it's exciting, this part. So I'm using wet glue. You can also use score tape. But again, I like the ability to move it just a little bit. And the wet glue lets you do that. So, take the first page. Make sure you have a wet nap or something handy in case there's any extra glue. And find the center of your page. Okay, so there's the opening there. And we're just going to slip it on. Now you have to be patient with this part because the glue will take a little bit to dry. So you want to really work it in there. And we will be covering the gussets and these little bits with paper afterwards just to kind of finish it off. But we'll get the pages in there first. When you feel that one is sufficiently in there and dry, then you can go on to the next one. Make sure you've got the proper opening there. Oh. Oh, I didn't wait long enough with my first one. It's already popped out. Gotta be really patient. I get a little bit excited. You might even want to use some clips to kind of hold it. I think I have some paper clips somewhere. Okay, there's a couple clips on there. Now this one's popped out, so let's try that again. Put a couple clips on that one. And start with the third page. Sorry, my head's in the way, I know. And the last one. Now I'm going to leave the clips on for probably a few hours just to ensure that there's a really good bond. And then we can decorate the cover and do the bits in between the gussets, etc. All right, so we'll keep those all clipped in, and I'm going to actually kind of close the book up so that hopefully that will keep them from falling out. So we'll just keep it like that for a couple hours, and then we will continue working. Okay, so now that we have our pages in, we're going to want to put some paper on the little gussets and folds and everything just to kind of finish it off. So for the expandable binding part, you will need 1, 2, 3, 4, so, and then 4 on the other side, so 8 pieces, which measure what are they? 3/8 of an inch by 7 inches. So I've got orange for the back part, and I'm going to do green on this side. Okay, so 4 little strips, just got some score tape on the back, and we're just going to go put those on just to kind of finish the look. And I've got a little bit of extra, what do you call it, the Tyvek sticking out here, so I'm just going to try and get rid of that. ink it so you can't see it as much. There we go. Okay, continue putting those strips on. Oops. Make sure you're staying within the score lines. Don't go over your score lines. Oh, that one's a little bit high. I guess it could actually be 7 1/8, really. Okay, and the last one for this side, and then we'll do the gussets. Okay, and now that still folds up nicely. Let's make sure. Yeah, there we go, perfect. Okay, so now we will put, go orange for this part here. So these ones will measure 7 by 5/8 of an inch. And like I said, you could probably go 7 1/8 if you wanted to. Okay, and then the next page. You don't have to put the paper in between. This is totally just a personal preference. I just think it kind of finishes it off really nicely. And then the next one. Okay, and then we're going to go opposite from the front, so we're going to go green on the larger gusset part, and then on the rest of them we'll go with the orange. Now we'll go orange on these parts here. Sorry if my big head gets in the way. I have to kind of get in here a little bit to make sure I'm getting it straight. Okay, so that still folds up nicely. Perfect. Okay, so now there's also this piece right in here. So this is still black in there. So I'm going to cover that as well. I've got a piece of this paper. This measures 3.5 by 8. Okay, so I'm just going to stick it down against the back. Try not to let it adhere until it's in place. It might be easiest to kind of grab it from either side. Make sure it's underneath. Alright, so now we've got that piece of paper in there. Alright, just to kind of finish it up, and now we can work on the covers. For the cover, I decided to use this black paper. So I've got that on the front cover, on the two small portions here, on the spine, and then I didn't have quite enough, so I've used this other pattern on the back. Okay, so use whatever pattern paper you desire. And now we need to attach our closures. So I'm going to use these little buckles from Tim Holtz. So the first step is to figure out where you want them. So I'm going to have one at the top and I'm going to have one at the bottom. So I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile and just kind of punch a hole as far down as the Crop-A-Dile will go. So, see how far it'll go down. Unfortunately, it's only about 1 inch. And is that about where I want it? Yeah, that will work. Okay, so I'm going to punch a hole there. And then I'm going to do the same at the bottom. Try and line it up. Alright, now we can use brads to attach those. Okay, now I'm just using some little bits of leather. I get most of my leather from places like the thrift store. You know, I buy an old coat or jacket or something like that and just cut it up. That seems to be the cheapest way to do it. So what we need to know is how far this needs to go through. And then we can cut a little hole in the leather. So right about there. And then we'll know where to put it on the other side. So let's cut a hole in the leather right around there. And then we'll match it on the other one. I wasn't quite centered on that one, but okay. Now we will put these in and get them hooked up. There we go. We'll do the other one and then we'll know where on the other side we want to attach the leather. Now you don't have to use this kind of closure at all. You can use whatever closure you so decide, but this is just what I'm doing. So I'm going to take our Crop-A-Dile again, and we want it to be right about there. Okay, and we'll put a brad there. And open the tines. And then we'll do the same on the other side down here. So hold it in place where you want it. And then using the Crop-A-Dile. If you don't have a Crop-A-Dile, it'll just take a little bit more effort to punch the holes. You'll probably have to do the leather and the chipboard separately. But there's always ways. And I'm just opening the tines on the other side here. At least I'm trying to. Okay, and there you have it. So, once there's pictures in here, it'll fill out a little bit more. Right now, it's got a little bit of wiggle room. It actually pokes out. I don't like that. What else can I do? Okay, so once you've got I just made an extra hole, and that seems to be working a little bit better to keep it properly closed. Like I said, once there's pictures in here, the pages will kind of lift up and everything will sit properly. So I just wanted to finish off the front cover here. So my plan is I've double matted, cut out the Master Detective thing, and I'm just going to put that and that, and see how we go there. So that's my plan, and then these two are going to go on the inside. So I'm just going to put these on first. Some glue. Okay, so I might embellish this a little bit further, maybe some gears or some keys or something of that nature. I kind of go through the whole album at the very end, and that's when I add my tags to my pockets and do any extra embellishing that I feel it might need. I'm just going to undo these because we're going to put the inside covers, or the inside bits on now. Okay, I'll just put this on. Okay, so now we'll just put these inside bits on here. I'm going to do the green here and the orange on the, or should I do it opposite? The orange there and green here. Yeah, I think let's do it that way. Okay. Alright, we're going to add our very last piece of paper to our album. And there we go. Now all that is left is to add any other embellishments you want to do, which is completely your choice. And you have just completed the Master Detective mini album. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope it all went well. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I will always answer any of your questions. And yeah, hope you come back for the next tutorial. Bye!